are implications for actions that are delayed. And some of the technologies that you may have today might not work if you wait too much, long. So, when people say, oh, you have only 10 years, 20 years, or 11 years was the first one. Obviously, there are implications for the 1.5 degrees, as there are implications also on how to limit global warming to even less than 2 degrees Celsius. We are sticking to 1.5, but, similar conditions we have for having the Paris Agreement goal of maintaining the increase in the temperature well below 2 degrees Celsius. These being for the 1.5, we know that at some point it's mandatory for limiting global warming at any level. 1.5, 2 to 2.5 doesn't matter. At any level, the cumulative amount of CO2 is the determinant of the level of warming that one is going to limit. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about 1.5, we talk about the net zero CO2 emissions by 2050. If we talk about 2, we delay that to 2070, say, right? But obviously that is really the tricky point. Physically speaking, that's the determinant of the limiting of the temperature that we are going to have. Well, so the question is, depending if we delay a lot, there are implications because you might go overshoot, as I mentioned, and as you overshoot, even though you're going to bring it back, if the overshoot's not too big, it has risks. It increases the risks. So that is an immediate consequence of having more extreme events, of having impacts in agriculture, tourism, water. So all those sectors are going to be affected somehow. Mm-hmm. So the earlier we start, this is why IPCC says, theoretically, we can still achieve the 1.5. But this is not easy. We are not saying, the IPCC doesn't say this is easy. It's an Herculean effort of, this global effort of higher ambition. I told that we are not on track. NDCs are not leading us to an emission pathway that nearly comes close to 1.5 or even well below 2 degrees Celsius. So something has to be done in the sense of implementing these emission reductions as soon as possible.